Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Data Dispatch. I hope you guys are having a great day. Let's kick off the week here talking about Palantir stock. We're going to be talking about the trading, what could be happening in the future. End of the week, we're seeing some interesting volume in terms of call options for PLTR. Also, we have the Fed meeting tomorrow. We're going to be anticipating those 3 rate cuts for 2024. That's what the expectations are right now. And we're going to be talking about what the near future for the actual changes in current interest rates. And this could have a big effect on the actual national market. Now, if you're a new or returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Now, a great little quick clip here about PLTR and what trading was like today. Would like to enjoy the PLTR memes. This is what we have right here. A little bit of that swing down and pull back. Interesting trading that we did have closing at the 24, right now at 23.82 at the after hours, but up about 2% on the day. Great to see here. We have the global indexes all up right here, S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and we have one of the main drivers that I always like to talk about, NVIDIA, basically kind of consolidated on the day. But if we go back to PLTR, what we see here was that dip down here into the 23.46. We bring this trend line up here. You can see this reversal that's been touched a few times in the many touch points here in the recent history, kind of the beginning of February. Looking at the micro level of support here, this is starting to become more of a reliable level of support. And especially today, we saw a good reversal. And you see here, before PLTR really hit this gap to its last 52-week year-to-date high, this same area, literally right here at this 23.40, was tested in a good reversal that was basically turned there. And what this tells me is that this will become more of a critical level of support as trading continues to develop. Now, not 100% a critical level. It's developing as we speak, but great to see nonetheless. What we could see is more consolidation here into the 24s, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, one thing that I did want to talk about, if we toggle over here to the options, looking at end of the week expirations, you can see here in terms of volume, all over 10,000 in about the next $2 worth of strike prices at the 24, at the 25, and even at the 26 near the 10,000. Lots of call options compared to the volume that we're seeing on the puts right now. So even by the end of the week, lots of people are expecting right here, and what we've talked about in future videos, that uncertainty that we've seen with a little bit of a pullback in the market, they basically brush off all the uncertainty that we see just due to the AI demand and the momentum in the market right now in the economy, brushing off what the scares are from inflationary measures. And in terms of what we are seeing, like I said, that Fed March meeting starting Tuesday, watching to see if we're still going to expect the rate cuts 3 times in 2024. And currently the expectations are for the central bank to keep the rates unchanged at a 23-year high on its decision Wednesday. So those are our current short time decisions regarding the federal rate. However, if we see differences in expectations, even if it's bullish, we could see a large push here for PLTR, even possibly testing these resistance points of the high 25s, getting back here into the year high, 52-week year-to-date highs. Or if we see, hey, we're actually not going to cut anything in 2024. We see some big swings, big changes in expectations in the market in terms of a bearish potential. Definitely testing this 23.40 and getting down here possibly to that $20 level of previous resistance that now could be acting as a level of support. One important article that I did want to talk about comes out from Motley Fool here, makes some really interesting points talking about, is it time to take profits on Palantir stock? And why people are talking about this is because over the last years, shares of PLTR has soared over 200%. This is quite impressive. I would say so nonetheless. We had PLTR that was trading below $10 right now at, in a few years ago, now at 24. One of the biggest culprits that's really launched PLTR is its AIP release and really its dive into the commercial sector. We've talked about this. Everybody has seen this with the basically historical Q4 earnings reports. And what we've seen last quarter, beating and coming in with a revenue surprise, and what we're seeing right now in terms of next quarter, already 16 earnings per share revisions. But going back to, is it finally time to take profits? A big question that is out there. One of the main things, PLTR, the biggest criticism is looking at its price to sales ratio. Yes, it's very high. I couldn't agree anymore. We see that even here on Seeking Alpha. Lots of people saying hold right now. Valuations usually get a D or an F rating for PLTR. However, compared to a lot of the other stocks that are within the SaaS industry here, we're talking about Snowflake, Datadog, Mongo, ServiceNow, they are all relatively high. Yes, PLTR is the highest right here, but they're all basically in the high 15s to the 20s. And talking about that, PLTR is actually still trading at a discount from its all-time highs. And I think this is a really emotional, kind of psychological type of scenario to really think about, considering that before PLTR was really having all this trendiness and explosions, it was actually trading at a time 36% higher. And it's 36% right now below its all-time highs, something that really doesn't look too obvious. And I really agree here with Motley Fool saying that the premium right now over its peers is as warranted. The valuation, there's a reason behind the valuation. I always say in my videos that, in my opinion, a valuation is basically what the future gauge of earnings reports are going to be. Right now, Palantir is one of the most trendy AI stocks. They're continuing to dominate the industry, and they're really getting involved with possibly getting included in the S&P 500. This is a big thing that is sitting on the table and everybody is waiting for. And that's because they've hit now the 5th quarter of GAAP profitability. They've met the other criteria. So now it's just a matter of time. And if we compare PLTR to even some other stocks right here, looking at NVIDIA up 502.5%. Yes, I would agree. We are in a big AI boom right now, and there could be a pullback at any time. Especially, like I said, with the markets right now, a lot of people have eyeballs on what the Fed's going to be doing. But however, a lot of these things that the Fed is doing, remember back in November, we were trying to price in 6 to 7 rate cuts in 2024. Now we're looking at possibly 3, and the market is still continuing to soar. The demand behind it is still pretty strong. Now, this does not mean, obviously things are going to go up forever. There could be a pullback. It just depends on a matter of when. However, PLTR does have a lot of push behind it. And for people that are looking to get into a long-term play perspective on PLTR versus getting into an entry right now, I mean, the important question that people can ask is, what is the price that they see in the future? And that is really a good judge of your own personal thesis and hypothesis on valuation. Right now, people are paying a premium price. However, is PLTR going to grow into that valuation, especially with the maturity that it'll achieve by getting included in the future? Hopefully S&P 500. People are looking for this year. We still have a few quarterly reviews that happens every quarter where the S&P comes together and gathers all of that information. Now, if you guys want to know how I get all of my data, I always utilize Seeking Alpha. I'm an affiliate partner with them. If you want 20% off a premium membership, check out that link below. However, what we do see here is, like I said, a lot of interesting things that are happening within the market and a lot of key points that will be triggering a lot of volatile trading this week. We're going to be keeping an eye, giving you guys an update on what the Fed's going to be doing tomorrow regarding looking at those 3 interest rate cuts and also the probability of them holding interest rates right now with that decision on Wednesday. Other than that, PLTR looking pretty good here in the 24s, I gotta admit, even with the uncertainty that's out there in the market. So hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend, and let's get ready for the week of trading. Peace out.